Good evening. We are coming from the Connect to Communications studios, and this is the program of High ID Glendale chapter, and I'm the president of High ID. And we have today with us a very special guest who has an amazing story. We're going to talk to him, and we'll hear his amazing story. His name is Alexander Lapshin. He's visiting Glendale for a few days and is going around the United States and Canada and Mexico, meeting with various politicians and organizations, human rights activists. And he's a great defender of Artsakh and Armenia. And we will start our conversation. Welcome, Alexander.
Thank you, Harut.
A pleasure meeting you, and welcome you in Glendale. We hope to see you again next time. Okay, so you had a very unusual story. You're probably the only man that such a thing can happen to. That's why our viewers will be very much interested in hearing your story. So I think in beginning, was it 2011 when you started going to Armenia and Artsakh?
Yeah, it was my first time to visit Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, 2011. So from this time, all my trouble started.
Right. Okay, well, Armenians have always been in trouble in their entire history. So you are become one of us now.
Yeah. Welcome to club.
Yeah, welcome to the club. So you keep going to Armenia, and at that time, where were you living? Were you living in Russia or?
Oh no, actually we left Russia during the Soviet time. So 1990 we emigrated to Israel. So I'm visiting Russia from time to time, but the last time I've been to Russia it was 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. So nowadays, because of the war against Ukraine, so I openly support the Ukrainians, and I just cannot go to Russia. Except of the fact that till January this year I had a father who actually passed away, so I even couldn't go to his funeral. Otherwise I could be arrested.
Right.
Unfortunately, the situation is bad in both Russia and all the countries connected to Russia. I mean, Armenia and Azerbaijan and Artsakh. So everything is connected now.
Okay, so let's go back to 2011 when you first visited Armenia. At that time, did you know anything about Armenia or Artsakh? Did you have Armenian friends? What made you go to Armenia?
So from the beginning, I think the first Armenian I met, it was the girl in my Soviet school. I was like maybe 8 or 9 years old. It was the girl. The girl was Irina Janunts, is the Armenian surname. So I loved her as a child. So I tried to, to take her home and all around. She was the first Armenian I ever met in my life. So the next time I met Armenians, it was much later. So when my mother was a student in the Soviet University in the city of Sverdlovsk, today it's Yekaterinburg, so she had a friend, Armenian guy. His name was Edward from Yerevan. So they became friends, and all of my family, like my grandmother and grandfather and his parents, became friends. So they visited Yerevan, and his parents visited Yekaterinburg, Sverdlovsk. So they became friends. But later, when they finished their studies, they didn't see each other for about 30 years. So accidentally, I already moved to Israel, and I found the old black and white photo of this guy, Edward. So I asked my mother, who is this guy? So she said, I just studied together 30 years ago. So I was curious, but what about him? Where is he now? Is he alive? What's happened? She said, look, it was a really long time ago. So since that time, Soviet Union collapsed. I never been to Armenia since 1970. So she said, okay, leave it alone. Never mind. But it was interesting for me. So I decided to go to Armenia. So first time I came to Armenia, it was 2006. Yeah, 2006. I came to Armenia to find this man. It was really interesting for me, really. on the back side of this black and white photo, I saw his address in Yerevan on Charen Street. I will not mention the name of the number of the house, but Charen Street. So I came there, and I found him.
Still there?
Yeah, still there, still
Wow.
there, still
Miracle.
there. So I found him. He had already 3 sons and 1 daughter. So it was incredible. They were like relatives. So in 2011, he passed away. So I was able to see him just one time in 2006. He passed away, but we kept in touch with his family. And unfortunately, in 2020, during the Artsakh war, one of his sons was killed in the Mardakert area. So I feel it's kind of a bit personal for me, what happened in Artsakh. So basically, this is my story. On 2011, I came to Armenia just to at least visit his grave, to put some flowers. And I decided to continue my trip to Artsakh. And I hired a car in Yerevan airport, like all tourists. And I drove my car to Stepanakert, Shushi, Martakert, Dadivank monastery, like tourist route. Just spent there 2.5 days. Basically, that's it. I published a number of articles, but tourist articles, not anything political. Nothing political. But still, after 5 years, I visited since this time more than 100 countries. So 2016, December 15, 2016, I suddenly was arrested in Minsk, Republic of Belarus, in request of Azerbaijan.
Решение о выдаче Азербайджану гражданину России и Израиля Александра Лапшина. Сейчас идет процесс обжалования, Минский городской суд, Верховный суд и так далее. Как вы считаете, этот вопрос по этому вопросу можно найти какое-то компромиссное решение, которое бы устраивало и Беларусь, и Россию, и Азербайджан? Спасибо.
Ну, давай с последнего начнем, да? Он что, еще здесь, Игорь Анатольевич?
Здесь. Процесс обжалования решения, потому гражданин пока находится.
Ну, ты создаешь лишнюю проблему. Уже давно надо было его переслать туда, куда надо. Вот обязательно, чтобы Шамшур поднял при всем народе этот вопрос. Это конечно, мы его вообще можем выпустить, но это будет неправильно. Точно так и к нам отнесутся так, когда мы кого-то будем там задерживать. Поэтому по всем соглашениям мы его должны передать Азербайджану. Какие у нас основания его не отдавать Азербайджану? Никаких. Ну вот там, говорят, обжаловал и прочее. Я уверен, что суд все равно поддержит наше решение, потому что оно законно. Так же?
2011, when you came to Armenia, you went to Artsakh.
Yeah, my first time.
But after 2011, you went to Artsakh again?
No, just one time.
Oh, just once?
No, just
once. I thought you went twice.
No. Actually, I visited Artsakh one time in 2011. Then I was arrested 2016.
5 years later.
5 years later. And then when I was released from Azerbaijani jail, I came back home. I applied to the court against Azerbaijan and etc. Right. So I decided to go to Artsakh once again. And just to show to Ilham Aliyev that I don't care about him, I will visit Artsakh against his will. So I visited Artsakh. I went to this monument of Papik and Tatik and just talk to Ilham Aliyev. I said, Mr. Aliyev, you see, I'm here. You lost the case. You have to pay money to Artsakh Bank. I opened an account in Artsakh Bank to receive the payment of compensation from Azerbaijan.
But he didn't pay.
They didn't pay. But never mind. It was kind of slap in the face of Aliyev. It's not money matter. They wouldn't pay in any case. So at least I did it. So this is basically my story. I was arrested in Belarus. I spent 2 months in Belarusian jail. So President of Belarus, dictator Alexander Lukashenko, he spoke about my case in the press conference. He said, like, straight away, I ordered to send Alexander Lapshin to Azerbaijan. When his interior minister told him, but he applied to the High Court to prevent the extradition. So I don't care about the High Court. I'm a president. I told you, send him to Azerbaijan. So next day, I was extradited to Azerbaijan.
And what were you doing in Belarus?
I was just on a transit from Baltic states, from Lithuania to Moscow. So a train just passing through.
You just happened to be in there.
Yeah. No. And I have nothing to do with Belarus.
But Aliyev found out that you're in Belarus.
Yeah.
because you were writing blogs
Yeah, I publish on the social media,
Yeah.
but I'm going to stay in capital city of Minsk just for one evening, so I can meet with my friends. That's it.
but since 2011, when you went to Artsakh first time, did you start writing things on the blog about Azerbaijan and Aliyev?
I wouldn't say so. So after I came back from Artsakh and Armenia, I just published a number of articles and photos and videos. That's it, basically. So for 5 years, I didn't mention not Armenia, not Artsakh, not Azerbaijan. But of course, when the first time I visited, I published articles where I mentioned that Azerbaijan is dictatorship. So thousands of Azerbaijanis in a jail because of different posts on Facebook, because of his disagreement with the current internal politics of Azerbaijan. I mentioned the killings of Armenians during the pogroms, so in Baku and Sumgait in 1988. That's it. But this is just obvious things, nothing special.
And when you were traveling through Belarus, where did they find you in Belarus to arrest you?
In the hotel. So I crossed the border absolutely peacefully. I crossed the border to Belarus. I checked into my hotel in central Minsk, just in front of the main train station. And in the middle of the night, somebody knocked the door. So I looked to this hole in the door. I saw police with machine guns. They opened the door. They told me, "You're under arrest on the request of Azerbaijan." So it sounded like a joke. So I said, "How come, guys? I'm just an innocent traveler." They said, "Look, this is the paper from the prosecutor general. So you're under arrest. Please take your belongings. Let's go with us to the police station." So, and then I found out that I'm really in a trouble. This is not the United States. This is not Switzerland. So in case it will take me now to jail, I will just disappear. So they will kill me. They will take me to Baku, where I will be killed. I will just disappear. So I asked them, "Guys, can I just visit the restroom for a second before we go to the police station?" They said, "Okay, go to the restroom." So I closed the door, and I was able to send the message from my cell phone on Facebook. "I'm under arrest. They're going to take me to the central police station, city of Minsk. Help." So I sent the message.
Who did you send the message to?
Just
General?
general to Facebook. I didn't have enough time because they work inside and put handcuffs on my hands. That's it. And I remember one of them just took my cell phone, just checked all the messages and called to somebody and told in Russian, "This bastard was able to send the message. What to do now?"
Oh, they saw the message?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said in Russian. And this guy on the line, I think told him, "Okay, take him to police station. We'll think what to do." That's it. So I was taken to the police station where I spent 2 days without food, without water, without anything, with the small cell full of homeless people, smelly homeless people from the train station. And my wife tried to visit me, and my lawyer here by the family just couldn't enter the police station. They said, "I'm not here." They said, "Okay, we never seen him." And then I was taken to the central detention facility of Minsk called Volodarka, where they keep all the political opposition for nowadays. This is ex-Nazi jail from the Nazi times. It was ironical, but thousands of Jews during the time of Nazi occupation were killed in this place, in this building. So they kept me there for 2 months. It's a horrible place.
Was there a trial? No trial.
Yeah, there was a trial because we applied to the Belarusian court for us to prevent the extradition. We tried to explain to the court that my extradition could be dangerous for my health and could be killed because Azerbaijan is not a democratic country. There are a lot of issues with human rights, etc., etc. So the Belarusian court just rejected our claims. We applied to the next court, the city court and the high court, just for nothing, finally. And after the press conference of the President Lukashenko, where he sent him to Azerbaijan, next day was taken to Azerbaijan by the private jet of Ilham Aliyev.
Oh, Aliyev sent a jet.
Yeah, a personal jet. So I spent 7 months in Azerbaijani jail. This time in a solitary cell. So in Belarusian jail, there was a small cell with a lot of people inside. So it's difficult to breathe. A lot of people. Some people sick with tuberculosis. Some people sick. Some people with different problems. So criminals together with, with political opposition. So it's a horrible place. And Azerbaijan was just alone. But this was even worse because after about, let's say, 2 weeks, look, the human being is a social person. We just cannot just stay in solitary confinement. So
In 4 walls.
yeah, just walls, no window. I couldn't walk outside. So I couldn't see the sky. I couldn't see the sky. So 3 times per day, I have in the morning I have a breakfast, just a porridge, and then I had a soup in lunchtime, soup with cabbages, little pieces of potatoes, and in the evening mashed potatoes or porridge once again. But from time to time they changed it. So I didn't have the watch, so I didn't know what time it is. So I had a lamp on 24 hours per day.
You don't know if it's day or night.
Exactly. So I was thinking to myself, if they bring me porridge, which means this is morning, but they changed it. They were bringing like a soup in the morning. But then I studied something different. So it was a small village nearby the jail with the mosque. So I can hear from the mosque, Allahu Akbar. And I studied Arabic in the Israeli university. I couldn't understand, is it morning pray or evening pray? So that's why. So they tried to destroy my psychology, but I somehow, managed to.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But then they took you to court in Baku.
Yes. So they wanted me to say in the court, Karabakh is Azerbaijan. I'm sorry that I visited illegally crossed to Azerbaijani territory. I mean the Nagorno-Karabakh territory. In this case, the prosecutors just promised me to, after the judgment, to send me to Israel. It was very strange. I told them, guys, I'm going to receive like 20 years in jail. How can you promise me to let me go? They said, no worries. Our president is open-minded and nice guy.
Nice guy.
We'll go home. Okay, and I'm not Rambo or something. So especially I was told in case, and they said, in case we'll play games, we will refuse to cooperate, we will just even nice to mention what they promised me, to put a bottle inside, and different rapes and all around. So I said, okay, I'm ready to recognize everything you want. I'm ready to recognize the United States as a part of Azerbaijan, if you like. So they said, no, Karabakh is enough. Okay, but instead, I was ready to recognize. I repeat, I'm not a Rambo. So if you receive threats to kill you and rape you and kind of homosexual threats, so of course you will agree to recognize
anything
in Brazil as a part of Azerbaijan. So I was assaulted. For some reason, I was assaulted in my cell by 4 masked men who, 3 of them kept my limbs, like legs, and
they held your hands and legs.
And one of them jumped on my chest. They started to strangle me with the fingers like this. And after about 10-15 seconds, I think I lost my consciousness. And the next time when I opened my eyes, it happened after 4 days. So I spent 4 days in a coma in intensive care unit of Baku Central Hospital. I had a broken.
This happened after the trial.
Yeah.
And did they give a sentence in the trial?
Yeah, 3.5 years.
How many?
3.5.
3?
Yeah, 3.5.
3.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so they found you guilty.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So accused me of illegal crossing to the Azerbaijani territory, plus insult of the president of Aliyev.
Yeah. Well, that's a major crime, insulting
Of
others.
course.
So you opened your eyes in hospital 4 days later, and you had damage to your body.
Of course, broken fingers, broken hand, broken jaw, broken teeth, a huge hematoma on the right side, so I couldn't see with the right eye. But the worst, it was that I couldn't feel my left part of the body, like after the stroke. So I couldn't just raise my hand. It was the most, terrible, because I was fearing I will be disabled for all my life. So after 4 days, I was visited by the Israeli Consul General in Baku, and she said she's so much happy. She heard that I tried to commit suicide, but the Azerbaijani saved my life, and I received a pardon from the President Aliyev, so I can go home. So anytime I will be able, because of my health conditions, I'll be able to fly home. They will take me home.
How did the Israeli Consul General find out that you were in Baku?
But I don't know actually. Look, it wasn't a secret. I was taken to Baku and was filmed just in front of tens of cameras.
it was
My landing in
announced
Baku.
on the
Yeah, it was
news,
announced and all the
News,
media
yeah.
and television and all around the internet. So it wasn't a secret. So I tried to whisper to the Consul General, but I didn't try to commit suicide. It was a murder attempt. Actually, not to whisper. I couldn't talk because of damages to the hunoid bone here. I tried to do something because my lips, but I couldn't. So I tried to write something on the paper. So she said, calm down. We know everything. When you will land in Israel, you can tell whatever you like against Azerbaijan. But nowadays, please keep quiet because we need to take you out. That's it. So when I was released, I was taken by the medical jet of Azerbaijan Airlines. I was taken to Israel. In Israel, spent more than 2 weeks in a hospital. And Israeli expert, they came to conclusion that it was just attempt murder and not suicide. Because of different signs. For example, I had 2 strangulation passes, one here and one here. But normally when somebody tried to commit suicide, to hang himself, it's only one here. This is just physical. And I had 2. So based on the conclusions of Israeli expertise, so I was bitten. I have a broken ribs. So when someone commits suicide, his fingers and hand and ribs
Are not broken.
are not broken.
Yeah.
So it's obvious. So they said they put me on the ground and tried to put a rope around my neck and to stage kind of suicide. So I was lucky to survive. And then when everything is finished, I was released from the hospital. I applied to the European Court of Human Rights against Azerbaijan. I accused the Azerbaijan of illegal arrest and torture and attempted murder. And I won the case 3 years later. I won the case and I opened an account in Artsakh Bank to receive the payment from Azerbaijan. Of course, they refused to pay. I didn't receive even $1 from Azerbaijan, but at least I gave the slap in the face of Aliyev. That's the point. Plus, it was a resolution of the United Nations last year in my favor with the same conclusions.
Human Rights Committee.
Human Rights Committee.
Right. Excellent. Now, because our time is very short, so now let's come to today. Since your release, you've been going around the world and publicizing all the human rights violations of Azerbaijan, all the oppression of the people in Artsakh. You've been meeting with various politicians, various human rights groups, and you're in this country here. You're having meetings. So we thank you very much for your
Thank you.
commitment to support Armenia. Armenians by themselves can't do very much. They need people who are their supporters and friends. And you are a great supporter and great friend. We appreciate very much your support. Your support for Artsakh almost cost your life. So that makes it even more touching that you almost lost your life because of us. We cannot thank you enough. And all Armenians owe you a big debt of gratitude. And whatever we can do for you, we'll stay in touch, and we'll find out what you're doing and how we can work together. Because Armenia, since then, Artsakh is in a very bad shape. We lost the war in 2020, and now the Lapshin corridor is blocked for more than 120 days. People don't have food, don't have medicine. It's a very major humanitarian crisis. It's a violation of international law, of course, but Azeris don't care about international law. They don't care about anything. They want to do whatever they want to. They didn't care about your life. They don't care about the life of Artsakh Armenians.
They don't care about the life of their own people.
Their own people, they don't care. A lot of Azeris in jail, and some have escaped. I must also say that, just for interest, I'm also on the blacklist of Azerbaijan because I went to Artsakh and I looked at the website in Azerbaijan. My name is on there as violating Azerbaijani law. But I don't think they can extradite me from the United States unless I go to Belarus, which I will never go to Belarus. So we're very sorry that what you had to go through, you went through because of us. We feel sort of guilty and responsible, and we're willing to work with you to do whatever we can to help you make your because you're helping us. So when we help you, we're helping ourselves. So we appreciate that very much. I think our time is running out. We have a couple of more minutes. Is there anything you would like to add about what you're doing today, or what you would like Armenians to do?
I think the main problem with the Armenians of both diaspora and the Republic of Armenia is the diaspora in Armenia divided too much. Even within the diaspora, there are a lot of different groups just cannot communicate with each other. This is just terrible in current situation, in its current shape. It's what's going on around Armenia. So Armenians have to be unified around the same self-identification, some pillars of self-identification. This is the only chance to survive as a nation and to keep the Armenia as a country of all Armenians, because Israel passed the same experience. And Israel was able to stand on the legs and to build a strong country. So I hope for the best. I hope and I pray for Armenia.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. The only important announcement I'd like to make is that Mr. Lapshin was kind enough to agree to meet with the Armenian community in Glendale. And next Monday at 7 o'clock, he will be at the Iranai Center in Glendale. Admission is free. You can all come in and listen. There'll be some videos. There'll be interesting conversation, questions and answer. So it's your chance to, more than just see him on TV, you can come and meet him personally, and you can thank him if you want personally, and we appreciate it very much. Dear viewers, today's program, we thank Connect to Communication for the opportunity to present you Mr. Lapshin, and this is sponsored by High ID Glendale Chapter. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.
Israeli-Russian blogger Alexander Lapshin has been extradited to Azerbaijan from Belarus. He's wanted in Baku for posts critical of the leader of the Central Asian nation and unauthorized visits to the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. Lapshin was detained in Belarus in December over the extradition request, and the Supreme Court on Monday upheld the ruling to extradite him. He was flown to Azerbaijan from Minsk just hours after the court's decision. Azerbaijani prosecutors accused the travel blogger of illegally entering the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh in 2011 and 2012 and supporting recognition of its independence. If convicted, he could face up to 8 years in jail. Russia's foreign ministry commented on the case, saying any extradition of Russian citizens to a third country would be inadmissible.